This will be the biggest betrayal stories you will ever hear in this current century. This man you're looking at here, his name is Chris Watts, and he's married to Shanann Watts, and they have two beautiful daughters, Celeste and Bella. Now, this woman is known for always posting her children and family, always posting her husband on Facebook, making videos, and everybody thought they are this happy couple, good family, and nobody knew what was going on in the background. You see, Shanann is actually a beautiful woman, and the husband on the other end always looks so quiet. Everybody believes the husband is this lovey-dovey, sweet and responsible husband, same way the woman looks like. If you look at some of their Facebook comments, it's always like, oh, I wish my family could be like this. People wished that their family could be as happy as Chris' family. You see, this family lives in Colorado in the United States, and it's a place where they found their house in an area where they are very comfortable and very quiet. So one day Chris met a lady called Nicole, and that's when everything started changing. Nicole asked Chris about his marital status, and Chris specifically said that he is not married and has never been married, either does he have any children at all. And Nicole believed that was true and agreed to be in a relationship with Chris. Now, Chris' wife is pregnant. She's about 14 to 15 weeks pregnant, and she decided one day to go on a business trip, leaving the two daughters at home with the husband. Now, during the time that the wife was away, Chris decided to have a full-time affair with the woman. But one crazy thing is that Chris wanted to cover up his tracks because he has already lied to Nicole, and he wants to make sure that everything he said to Nicole is actually true. So he decided to do something crazy. He started building a plan on how to remove the family that he already built out of the way and make everything straight for himself. So instead of him going for a divorce or doing any other things to separate himself from the family, he chose a very terrible route to do this. Remember, Shanann went on a business trip, and when she got back around 8 a.m. in the midnight, and of course that time they were already sleeping. The children were asleep and the husband was asleep. So when she arrived, she was able to wake the husband up, and then according to Chris, they had an emotional discussion that day, and he strangled her. But strangling her was not even the problem. Now the problem is he took the two children and put the woman in his car boot and drove down to his company, his oil company. I think the guy has an oil company, and then he drove down to that company, buried the woman in a shallow grave there, and then do you know what he did next? He murdered his two children and put them inside an oil. The following morning, he reported an incident of his family being kidnapped, and when he was invited in a TV station for an interview, he just said, I wanted my wife back, I want my children back, which was a very crazy statement. But the way he said it made people to suspect that something is actually wrong. People started suspecting him, and the police demanded that he go for a test. Now, you know those kind of tests that a lie detector kind of test. When you say the truth, they will know. If you don't say the truth, the AI was actually going to discover that you're not saying the truth. That was the kind of test that he went to, and he failed. So the police started suspecting him. He became the major suspect in this case. So they had to put him in a cell. Now the police thought of something that could psychologically make him confess to this crime, and he took the bait. And guess what? He confessed of killing his wife and also his two children. In fact, it was not even his two children. He murdered both the wife and the 15 weeks old baby and two other of his children, all in one night. Now when he confessed to the crimes, there was nothing else that could do than to take him to court. Now when he got to court, he pleaded guilty to all the crime, and the judge decided to pass his judgment. The judge's word, he said he is giving him 5 life sentences. Now what this means is that when he comes back to the world after he has served his first life sentence, he will go back to prison and serve another life sentence. Then if he continues coming back to this world for 5 good times, he will keep serving that sentence. Theoretically, it means there's nothing he could do to leave the prison, because these sentences comes with zero parole, so he cannot get a parole or anything at all. So he has to be in prison till the day he takes his last breath. And if he comes back to the world again, he will still go back to prison and keep doing it like that for 5 different times.